Hi, I'm Jefferson. I'm going to be introducing you today.
Sure.
Welcome to Mention Monday. John Forbes is a student intern for the Brotherhood Initiative, working in executive capacity where he helps mentor, develop, and implement policy for the Brotherhood. John is working to obtain his Master's of Social Work Policy this spring from the University of Canada. During Sean's free time, he enjoys coaching his son's various sports and spending time with John.
Very true. And that is me, everybody. That's what I do. I was very unsure of what I was walking into when I started doing this back in September because you think you have all the answers and you really don't. A men's initiative, what is that? Like, what are we doing? I don't even understand what that is. And it took me a minute to really understand the level of care that men need, not only on CCSU's campus, but everywhere. Um, like I mentioned earlier before we started recording and going through my bio and all of that fun stuff, that there is a heavy stigma on the male population for male toxicity, not understanding, not being able to share feelings, not being able to grow and share relationships with other males. Males are a very individual creature by habit, by choice, by force, by environment. We are not ones who share openly our feelings, our emotions. And so it's hard to all of a sudden come into an atmosphere where you have to be able to share and you have to be open to things and try new things. That's not who we are. And that's why the Brotherhood Initiative exists. It's because it is who we are. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to share. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to walk up to another guy and say, hey, man, how are things going? And it doesn't even have to be men. Anybody can be a part of the Brotherhood, which makes it so unique. Yes, we focus on the male population and those who identify as male. But, and I use this but carefully, anyone can get help. Anyone can be a part of us. We have a sisterhood. So there are other avenues. And we are, yes, a male initiative on the campus of CCSU, but we are a support system for every student on CCSU. If you want, we can go through the presentation now so I can walk you through that. And then at the end, we can do some wrap ups and you guys can ask 1,000 questions if you want to, which is perfectly fine. So can you all right, there we go. Just wanted to make sure you all could see it too. I was like, oh, all right. So, excuse me.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sorry about that.
Hey, it's technology, you know? It's only as good as the internet we're using. So that's our logo. It's actually being updated now because now there's going to be a heart right in the center. So we can go to the next slide if you want. And this is who we are. Feel free to read it. I know who we are. I want you guys to read it just so we all are on the same page. We're all about help and support. That's our biggest goal, is having men be able to help themselves. And I know, like I said, it's hard. It's not easy. It's retraining the brain. It's retraining the emotions. It's developing core trust within your community that you live in to be able to have those hard conversations or fun conversations. Um, who in here lives on campus in the dorms? Anybody in the residence halls? Okay. Oh, then there goes my piece that I was going to share, but I'll share it anyway, only because I want you to all to understand why building a sense of community is such a huge responsibility. I found out in working with the Brotherhood that the residence halls, if you're in your room, you have to have your doors closed. I find that odd. If the university's biggest thing is, retention, male student retention, community, male community, it's very hard to build a community if you're locked in your room. You build a community with, maybe the one or two people on your floor that you're friends with, your hallmate, your flatmate, whatever you want to call it, but you're missing out on a really big piece of getting that community, building that trust within the other people on your floor and in your residence hall. So I think that's something that needs to be addressed going forward, because I think that will also help build that sense of community and be able to allow people to talk and share freely with each other. We can go to the next slide. So this is why we do what we do, right? And I'll go through this slide because there's a lot. College men face unique challenges along their journey towards college degree completion. Mental health, lack of community, isolationism, suicidal ideology. The list goes on. There's a lot, because men don't like to ask other men, or anybody else for that matter, for help. And that's where we come in. We are that bridge gap. We are the ones who can step in and get them the kind of help they need. Male students face a greater risk of failing to graduate. The numbers don't lie. Men, for whatever reason, like to drop out junior year, their second semester. That seems to be when they've had enough, the stress gets too much, they found a job somewhere, whatever the excuse, whatever the reason is, that seems to be when they pull that trigger to walk away after they've completed, 85% of what their degree is asking them to achieve. Men are less likely to seek help or access necessary support. True statement. We are creatures of habit. If our little core group of friends or confidants cannot answer those questions, then we're just going to swallow it down and just go about our day. I've seen too many people who are the kings of campus, the queens of campus, have all these friends, and then sit alone in their room with no one to talk to and no one to support them because they don't know how. They have 1,000 friends, but no friends, if that makes any sense. Men have less healthy lifestyle practice and engage in riskier behavior. Men like to party as a whole. It's a stereotype. The problem is that we live up to that stereotype 9 out of 10 times. Would you agree? I'll give CCSU credit. They got rid of the fraternity houses, which used to be a major problem for male students. I mean, God, it was crazy. 20 years ago, when I was up there visiting people, the amount of male students that were just at these frat houses, partying all the time. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous, and it leads to other issues, other avenues of problems. Again, campus security, New Britain Police Department, issues with other students. It's a huge trap. Men are more likely to be on academic probation and engage in more student conduct offenses. We stop going to classes. We stop doing homework. We stop caring because that's how we are. We are the kings of self-sabotage. If it's not going our way or we can't figure out a way to get help, we'll shut it down. Males commit suicide at rates approximately 4 to 5 times higher than that of their female counterparts. Guys represent nearly 80% of all suicides. Straight facts. We are the finishers, where you may have female students, those identifying as female, will talk about it, but not be about it. Or they'll do what they call a light test, where they'll take some pills or they'll get real drunk or they'll do something just as a cry for help. Whereas male students, males period, will usually end the job, which is that number is it's scary. It's just scary that knowing that you have all the tools to communicate, to ask for help, to get help, and there are all these programs out there for help, that we still choose not to. And then 99% of CCSU male students actively involved in the Brotherhood Initiate graduate. That's our biggest claim to fame, is that anyone who's involved with us, we take care of. We make sure they're on the right path at the right time, giving them all the help they need through our different programs, through our different support services. And we have a 99% graduation rate on this campus if they are involved with us in some way, shape, or form. Next slide, please. These are our programs. This is what we do. This is the lifeblood of the Brotherhood. So we have our Brotherhood Man Hour, which is our Brotherhood meeting. It's once a week for an hour, and anyone can come in and listen to people talk. We usually have guest speakers. We talk about topics, whether it's on campus, nationwide. A lot of it's been international lately. This is our weekly meeting. But again, anyone can come and listen and share their opinion. It's a safe space for anyone and everybody involved. We do accountability coaching, which means we hold people accountable, focusing on stress management, time management, because life can get crazy. People like to procrastinate, not just men, everybody procrastinates. Have you all procrastinated this semester to get stuff done? Right. Would it be easier if there was someone helping you, supporting you, keeping you accountable, saying, hey, this is your block of time to get all this stuff done. Let's break this up so it's not so overwhelming. That's what we do. We mentor students who need that extra little help and to stay on top of them. Study sessions, those who are struggling, those who need academic support, those who were on 504 plans in high school and IEPs in high school, who don't have the knowledge or understanding of where to go to get that help. We provide that help. We spend hours and hours and hours with them a couple times a week. Just study, go over your assignments. We'll help you if we can, stuff like that. We now, this semester, started a new program called Fellows in Residence. So that means we have Brotherhood people who live in their residence halls running some of these programs. They do their own accountability coaching, they do their own study sessions, they do their own man hour, quote unquote, meetings inside their residence halls. So that way, if anybody needs anything directly, or they don't feel like sharing with a giant group, they can pull one of these young men from their room or in a common place and say, hey, I need this help, or I need this support. And then we have our Connections. Our Connections group meets Mondays. Connections helps with socialization issues, the isolation issues, the breaking down of stereotypes, how to be better men, how to be able to share and have contact with other males, with anybody really, with how to champion for yourself, champion for others, and support each other. Next slide, please. Everybody asks, where are we? Well, we're everywhere. We don't have a building. We don't have a room like you guys have, or the Women's Center, stuff like that. So we're just kind of out there, which makes it hard when you want students to come and who could use help but don't know where we are. So it makes it a little difficult because we don't have a structure, a standing structure, but we are in the residence halls. I've been around on campus all semester long, from last semester and this semester. We have our man hour meetings in Marcus White and in the campus tour center. So we do have some spots that we are in. There's also, we're looking into a space now with the help of Student Affairs that maybe next fall we'll actually have a location. If anybody needs help, or you need to direct a student that could use some help, we may have a space. So I will let you all know if we do actually get a space. I will email you directly and say, hey, could you let anyone know who's looking for space or help? This is where we are. And it should be, I want to say it's going to be in the student center somewhere, some closet probably, but at least it's a space. And then we have our website, which is attached to the CCU website. I put the link on there. It works. It's updated. There is a form to fill out. It's just simple questions of who you are, your student ID number, and your email address. If you'd like to be a part of the Brotherhood, receive some information, or if you're looking for help or support. And go ahead to the next one. And then this is what we do. Our collaborators, Student Wellness Center, the Learning Center, the Veterans Affairs, Student Affairs, Resident Life, and Academic Support Services. This is who we're plugged into. So if the issues are too big for us to handle, we can then farm it out to the responsible party to get that student those helps, those male students those help, or anybody that is looking for direction. And go ahead to the next one. Now here we go. Any questions? Yeah, go right ahead.
What initiatives I guess events has the Brotherhood Initiative done to support the mental health stigma for male students? I'm just speaking as someone that like has had to deal with a friend that's a guy doesn't know where to go, and whenever I say go to student wellness, they're like, no, I don't want people to know that I'm sad. So
Right.
like, what's the response to him?
So the response to him would be A, have him go online to the website, fill out the information. It's completely confidential. It doesn't go to counseling, it goes to us. And then someone qualified like myself or Father Gill would then reach out and find out what exactly is going on. Because I'll be honest, he may not even be totally honest with you, even though he is your friend, because there may be something deeper going on that he doesn't want to share, that he's uncomfortable sharing. And that's where the support structure comes in. It's hard to have any kind of mental health programs on campus if you are not licensed or accredited, because there are a lot of guidelines that have to be followed. But we do have we have men in the fall time. We have the men's mental health awareness that we do, which is basically, hey, fill out this information, and then we'll work with you one-on-one or with a group. Connections would be a good place for him probably too, to air out that stuff. It's a small group, it's confidential, nothing gets shared because it's run by Father Gill, who is a licensed counselor. So I would have him reach out directly, or if he wants, he can reach out to me if that makes it. No problem.
And then I guess like a follow up to that is, as a woman, what can I do for like the greater populace? Like, just I know that the stigma around getting treatment for something like that, it's there from like societal standpoint, but as a woman on campus and as a central student, what can like I do to help break the stigma?
Advocate, 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 advocate. The more students talk about mental health and getting help and seeking help and it being okay, and then sharing the female point of view, that's powerful. You know, we as men cherish that. But the problem is that we have such a bad stigma of not listening for so many years. I mean, take it for what it is. Our government is run by people who look like me for the majority, right? Right. So it's very hard to break stigmas. It's very hard to break those cycles because they're ingrained in us. And the best thing you can do is advocate not only for yourself, for your fellow students, male, female, other, it doesn't matter what they identify as. It's students advocating for other students to get the help and support they need. And it's a hard conversation. All those conversations are hard. And it's really, really difficult for someone to share why they feel like they want to swan dive off the parking garage, you know? And it's hard. As a UConn student, 2 weeks or a week ago, 10 days ago, a male student at UConn literally swan dived off of the parking garage because he didn't know where to go, how to get help. And it's terrifying. It's terrible. And no one wants to live with that, especially friends, family, people that knew him, knew her, whoever. If they're going down that path, there has to be a way to have that conversation, as hard as it is. Even if you don't think you're qualified, I trust you. And believe me, you are. You may not have all the right answers, but you're qualified to have that conversation. You're qualified to share your feelings, your support, your empathy for anybody on that campus. And it takes a lot, and it's hard. And it's hard as someone listening to these things to not feel a certain type of way, to have it eat at you. Could I have done more? Should I have done more? The best thing you can do is have those conversations in a nice, secure spot where it's just you and that other person or a group of people sharing the same kind of things. And that's what we do. We bring people together that are kind of sharing the same stuff to show them you're not lost. You're not alone, because there are so many other students, so many other people that share the same feelings that you do. And it's okay. What's not okay is not sharing. Any other questions?
So, how do you join the Brotherhood Initiative?
So in joining, it's the same thing as filling out, it's the same form. We've made it so easy. It's ridiculous that all you do is put your information in, and then it goes to the director, who is William Fothergill. And then he'll farm it out to either myself or the leadership team of the Brotherhood. And then we send an email, or we go through Teams or whatever. I mean, you are all students. You know how difficult it is to actually get students to talk to you and reply and answer questions. It's difficult, but you don't stop. If someone puts their information in there, and there's a little description you can put in, looking to join, or just, looking for help, or looking for programs, or want to be a part of this. And then we can filter it that way. So it gets to the right people. So we can, and if someone says, hey, I have suicidal ideology, that may be a whole different ball of wax, where we're sending that directly to counseling, or Fothergill himself will reach out and get that student the help that they need. But yeah, if you go on the website, if you click on the link on the website, you'll see, I think it says join us, and it's right there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 boxes. You should fill that out. It takes about 30 seconds. And that puts all your information in the system, and then we go from there.
Thanks.
Welcome.
What are the expectations of someone in the Brotherhood? Like what, I guess, time commitment even is there for the Brotherhood?
So many hours. No, I'm just kidding. Not at all. It's what you can give. It's what you can give. Simple as that. If you can give us 5 hours a week, 10 hours a month, it's whatever your time commitment can fit. You don't have to be a leadership. You don't have to develop programs. We just want you to be a part of us. Because if you're a part of us, that's more people that we can spread the message through of support and help and mental health and wellness. It's not a huge time commitment. Now, if you're striving to be more and do more and you can give more, and man, we are all for it. Please give us as much as you can. But if you can give us a little, we'll take that too. Being on the leadership team is a little bit more, because it's student run. I'm only here to facilitate. I am done in 3.5 weeks. So I have to pass on all my wisdom, all of my knowledge to the next generation to take this now and run with it. So if you're looking for something to believe in, to be a part of, and you have the time to give, then leadership is where to go, because it's just you spreading the word, developing programs, having a good time. Anyone else?
Are the Bassett Awards part of the Brotherhood Initiative? Or is that different?
The Bassett Award is us.
Could you kind of explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So, well, I can explain to you as much as I can right now. So the Bassett Awards for the students, correct? You talking about the scholarships and that fun stuff, the big money? Yeah, we like the big money. So that right now, I don't know if it's going to happen this year, ladies and gentlemen. We got a basically cease and desist letter from the university about our program, about the Bassett. So the Bassett Awards, I'll give you a quick little breakdown. The Bassett Award recognizes the students. It recognizes all of you. You nominate each other. And then we as a committee, where Colin's not here, but Colin is the chair of that committee. And then we pick and select who we feel is most deserving of those scholarships. It's usually a really good time. It's usually wonderful for you all who apply for it. It's pretty decent money towards whatever you need it for. But yeah, no, this year we got a letter a couple weeks ago saying, please stop all stuff. We need to reassign, readjust, and relook at this. So even though it has nothing to do with CCSU, it's politics. It is what it is, and that's all I can really say on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What is the highlight from your time at Central with this initiative and with this program?
Honestly, all of you guys, every single one of you, every single student I've met on campus has been unbelievable, unbelievable. That is the best part, is getting to know all of you, getting to understand the trials and tribulations of what makes you all work, how hard it is to navigate life now in 2024. When I started college, when I first went to college, when I was your all age, it was in the 90s. It was a different animal back then, way different. We had a lot more freedom. We didn't have technology. We didn't have leashes. We didn't have any of that stuff. But we were also, again, on the other side of that coin, we were also blind. We weren't, the world was small back then. You know, internet was dial up. You were lucky if you got any kind of research done. There was no Google. You were searching, Webster's Dictionary, encyclopediabritannica.com. That was your research engines. There was nothing. I didn't have this here to tell me how to live my life or what to do. It was hard, but easy at the same time because you lived in a bubble. And, you had your group of friends where everybody was outside, everybody was doing, dumb 90s stuff. Now it's hard because all eyes are on all of you at all times. Everything is an issue. Everything is a problem. I give you all credit. I really do. I think that is what I've learned and loved the most is watching all of you navigate individually and then as a group how to function, how to make this work while dealing with having all eyes on you and all of that stress and the stress of college and getting older and growing up and having to now adult. It sucks. It's not easy. It's hard. But that's what makes me happy is watching all of you and learning from all of you and seeing how strong you truly are. That's what's been the most rewarding. And also, building the policy and helping redevelop the brotherhood along with Father Gill has been awesome. But I couldn't have done it without all of you. All of the students, every single student has played a part in redefining who we are and what we are. And that has been the absolute best part.
I have one more question, sorry.
No, I'm here.
What are your personal words of advice to a junior in their second semester how do you go from stopping a male student from dropping out?
How would I?
Yeah, what are your words of advice?
Physically grab them. No, just kidding. And shake them a lot and say, you've made it this far. No, that's hard. That's tough. I would tell them this. It may not get easier, but you'll understand more. The more you put in, the harder you work, the more focused you are, and the people that you have around you for support will help you develop who you truly are. Because until you realize that, you're just going through life. And that's okay, because no one should know who they are at your ages. Even at 31, no one should know who they truly are yet. Because you're here for a reason, right? You're all here for different reasons. You're all getting different degrees. You all have different beliefs. And all of that shapes you to the end result of being the best you can be. And it takes time, it takes work, it takes years, it's hard. Most of it's not fun. Cherish the fun stuff. The bad stuff just builds character. That's what I would tell them. That's what I tell any of you, all of you, right now. Cherish the good stuff, embrace the bad stuff, because it builds character. And character can never be taken from you, because that's what defines you. Anyone else?
This isn't really brotherhood related, but so you're graduating in May. Do you know what your future career goals are? Do you still want to work with college students or?
Sure. No, I'm still trying to figure out that avenue. Having a social work, a master's in social work policy is different. It means I don't like people. I'm just kidding. I love people. Knowing how I am and who I am, I couldn't deal with the constant negative that would eat me alive. And I know that. And I know that about myself. I couldn't go into somebody's house and see really poor conditions or really great conditions, but having that negative impact of having to remove a child or get them counseling or all these other things that I know would just eat at me down the road. Doing policy work is a little different. You're kind of on the outside. It's macro practice, so it's large scale. So something along those lines. I've looked at jobs in higher ed at other universities, some state jobs. But as for a concrete definition, just like you, trying to figure it out, you know? And that's okay, you know? I wish I had an answer. I wish I had say I'm getting a job here and I know exactly what I want to do, but I don't, and that's okay. I know that after May 4th, I'll have a piece of paper that says I know stuff. You know, maybe not a lot of stuff, but I know some stuff. But I'm also banking on the fact that I'm not 20, and that's nothing against any of you. It's the fact that I have experience in other fields and doing other things and being able to talk to you all about life and being a grown-up and how hard it is to go from being safe on your campus, knowing everybody, doing all these fun things, going from that to I'm in an apartment by myself. I have car payments. I have rent. I have insurance. I have all these bills. I want to get a dog or a puppy, but I can't. My stupid apartment won't let me, and all this other nonsense. It's just playing the game, and it's just nonstop. But yeah, figure it out, man. Just figure it out and just roll with it because it's cool. Life is fun. It really is. It's hard, but it's fun. So yeah, in a roundabout way, I have no idea. But I also have an idea, so I guess we'll see what happens. What do y'all want to do when you get your piece of paper? Any ideas?
So I'm getting my master's in counselor education, specialization in school counseling. But after being at a middle school for the year, I actually don't think I want to stay in a school, but I'm also getting the clinical, like I'm getting my LPC. So I think I want to stay in like a clinical setting, maybe a hospital.
Okay. To touch on that real quick, because my wife is a second grade teacher and I have to listen to that every day of my life. There is so many mental health issues in elementary schools right now, as you can attest to. Circle back to that down the road because they're going to need you. They really are. These kids are struggling at a very young age, and I'm talking kindergarten level. They're seeing heightened ADHD, autism, social disorders like nobody's business. It's scary. It's really scary. So I would just put a pin in that idea for now. But yes, get clinical experience. Use your LPC. Be that dedicated counselor. And as you get older, as you grow, circle back to it because they're going to need your expertise. They're going to need your understanding. They really are.
I'm going for a master's in international studies or history.
Okay. So you want to be a world traveler and Indiana Jones. I appreciate that. That is fantastic. But I mean, as they say, the world's your oyster, right? My advice to you, my friend, would be to travel. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to read about it. It's way more impressive if you've lived it and can explain it from a cultural point of view, which you already know. So save up your pennies, travel as much as you can, build in that culture, take in everything you can, and then present it to the world through your eyes. That's the best way to do it.
I'm in a similar position as Jeff. I also want to pursue a master's in international studies, Latin American studies, something around that field.
Okay. Okay. Same advice. Live it. Live it. You know, that's the best advice I can give anybody is live it. If you want to do something and you're passionate about it, live it. Anybody can read a book. Anybody can watch a movie. Boots in the dirt is a different experience, you know? And then you all can open up a hotel and all that fun stuff. Because You know, you can do anything you want. With that degree, you can literally live anywhere, go anywhere, immerse yourself in any kind of culture that you want to learn about and be a part of. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right, my 31-year-old junior, let's go. What do you got?
So I'm an electrical engineering major. I'm gonna go for my master's in business and get an MBA. And then my ultimate goal is to work in the aerospace industry for about 10, 20 years, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, get into the political sphere as a senator in Connecticut.
Okay. So
So
there's a
I'm just
lot.
gonna work in the aerospace field and know how to like go about it as a manager, maybe get to C-suite level if I can, and use all that funding so that I don't have to go through private funding and be, subject to all the lobbying that occurs in DC, and just run on the platform of, as a born and raised Connecticut woman, I know the pitfalls of our own, our issues that we have here on a state level. So
Yeah. I can talk to all of that. There's a lot to unpack with that entire statement, but
yeah.
that is very clear, very concise direction, and I appreciate that. So don't limit yourself to aerospace
I
because
just love it so much.
no, and I get it. I get it, but also look at what's the place? Electric boat. Electric boat. They're very heavy contracted right now. There's a lot of money there right now for employment. It seems I have a friend who's a welder in the aerospace field up near Bradley, and there's not a lot of projects coming in right now. So just do your due diligence with that. If that's where your passion lies, do your homework. Now, for you running for Congress, fantastic. We need more women leaders. We really do. With the nonsense that's been going on federally with people who look like me telling y'all how to use your bodies and all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's got to stop. 1,000%. That is some of the dumbest conversations I've ever heard in my entire life. I have no business, and on behalf of all old white men, I apologize because we have no business telling y'all how to use your bodies, run your bodies, and all that other fun stuff. Listen, that is on you. So that it just makes me sick. I spent a year working for Senator Blumenthal, and I can tell you this: start local.
Yes.
Start local. That is
I
that's where you're going to grow. Federal sucks. It's a lot of hurry up and wait. It's a lot of good intentions that go bad intentions real quick. Individuals really don't get a lot of work or stuff done that they want to get done. It's usually a group, and it's so watered down from the policies that you've generated and the ideas you've come up with to the end product that you just want to scream. But I give you 100% my blessing. That is a great direction. So
Yeah,
start.
I got the blessing and like the kind of nod from State Representative Gary Turco, who's my representative for my district,
Yep.
and State Representative Kate Farrar, who is next to my district because I live in Newington right now. So both have kind of shown me a little bit of like, hey, if you want to go through this political sphere, you can work on a campaign with us. You can see what it's like to work in this office. Look kind of towards what Hartford really is and the beast that is state
Yeah.
representative level work. So I'm really lucky to be at Central because we are so close to Hartford.
Yeah. You can also look at the campaign school that UConn has. Um, there's tons and tons of avenues. Look in your town. What can you do in your town? Start there. I can pass on your information to Joe Rodriguez, who is the deputy director for Senator Blumenthal, if you want.
Okay.
He is a friend of mine. He is huge in the Latin community as well. So, there are avenues. There are avenues. And the advice you're getting is perfect. Start small. See what it's all about. I can also get you in touch with Representative Jill Gilchrist if you want to, and Matt Blumenthal as well. So I know all of them personally. So when you're ready, you all should have my contact info, I believe.
Yes.
Shoot me an email. I got you. I can forward along. All right, big man.
I'm still very undecided. I'd
That-
like to get a master's at some point, but I want to just like live a little.
Listen, don't rush it, man. Do not rush the experience. Take it all in. You know, there's no reason to rush, right? Any of you, correct? There's no reason to rush. Find what you're passionate about. You know, the hard part is being 3.5 years into your degree and being like, I really hate all of this. I wish I had picked something else. And I think that's where students get stuck, especially male students, where if they could go back in time, they would have picked something else. And instead of saying, you know what, I have to just swallow my pride and start over, or at least see what I can transfer and start something new that I'm really passionate about, we tend to just kind of walk away. And that's hard because you've already put in all this work, all this time. But if you're not passionate about what you're learning and what you're doing and what your options can be, not are, but can be when you're done with your degree, you never want to feel like you made a mistake. You know, my degree, my undergrad degree was sociology and history. I'm getting my master's in social work policy. So there's that. There's not really a whole, it's what you find passionate in. It's what makes you, doesn't define you, but it makes you you, what you really want to do. Do you have any idea of like what you want to try to do when you're older like me?
So I'm pretty happy with the decisions I made. So I'm doing a double major in finance and international studies.
Man, look at all you guys be traveling the world. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know. There's just like a lot
you
going
can-
on, but nothing
So-
is that exciting to me, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to give you some wisdom. Okay. If you are international studies and you're a finance major, I want you to start doing research on the World Bank. Research it. Look at what they do. They do big money finance for the world. And they like to hire Americans because we have a really strong financial sense. Not looking at the country, because that's a mess and a half. But individually, when you have a degree in finance and you can understand the culture and assimilate to the cultures that represent the World Bank, it is a wonderful institution if you want to go down that road. That may not be your passion. Finance may be the backup, where then you may be a world traveler, you may be understanding other cultures and doing stuff along those lines, or you may not want to do any of that and find a master's degree that really piques your interest. You may be making pottery. Who knows? You know, that it's whatever your passion is. Because you don't want to be stuck in a job for 30 years, 40 years that you absolutely hate. You don't. You're going to be miserable. You're going to be 35 like I was and be like, hey, I need to go back to college because I hate everything that I'm doing. I'm tired of being yelled at for other people's mistakes. My wife sat me down one day and she said, what do you want to do? And I looked at her and said, sure, I have no idea. You don't want to get to that level. You want to figure it out and then make it make sense. That's it. Make it make sense. If it makes sense to you, doesn't matter what everybody else thinks, right? Unless your parents are paying for it, then maybe it's 50-50. But other than that, it really doesn't matter because it's your life. You know, they're only there to get you to a point, right? And then it's, well, thanks for playing. You've spent 22 to 24 years, maybe 26 if you're lucky, under our watchful eye, taking direction. But at some point, it's on you guys. It's on all of you to figure out the very best version of yourselves. And that's all anybody can ask for. That's all you can ask for, is what is the best version of me? Because that, for all of you, is what people are going to buy. The very best version of you. It's not how smart you are. It's not, I graduated summa cum laude from CCSU. No one cares about that. I'll tell you that right now. As someone who's been in the workforce and has hired people, who has run banks, no one cares. They really don't. I never bought anybody on paper. because paper is paper. I bought the person sitting in front of me. And it sounds so awful saying bought, but that's what it is because you're being paid a salary to do a job. So I am paying you to give me the best version of you. And that's what I suggest for all of you is to reach that potential, find the best version of you, and that's what you present. Every time you go for an interview, anytime you meet somebody, present the best version of you. Not the so-so version, but the best version. Because that's what people want. Because that's what we expect, right? We expect to get the best version of a company, of a boss, of a friend, of a potential mate of some kind, right? That's what we expect. The best. Don't ever sell yourself short. Ever. And it's okay to not have a plan right now. It's okay to have a map and some direction. But you don't need a plan. Not yet. You'll get there. You all will. Hell, maybe I'll be working for you guys one day. Who knows? But I will say this, even Miss, I'm 31, which I love. You are all the ones who are going to change this world. You, in some way, shape, or form, you are the generation that's going to have enough of the nonsense that the boomer generation above me and my goofy generation has done to y'all. You guys are going to be the voice of reason. I firmly believe that. Because you have to be. Because, man, oh man, it cannot continue like this. Not for anybody's sake. I wish you all the best. You guys are fantastic. And I'm so glad I was able to meet with you guys today and present the Brotherhood, give you a little life facts, meet you all. It has been truly inspiring. Please keep doing what you're doing. Do not give up. Do not quit. If it's hard, ask for help. Don't be bigger than the situation. Do not try to be bigger than the situation. Get the help, get the support you need. Take care of each other. That's what it's all about. If you all need me for anything, if you want to send me resumes to go over, any kind of help that I can be, please use my contact information. I'll do my best to help you any way I can. Sound like a plan?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. You guys all take care. Have a great day. I know you guys just got done with spring break, so, deep breath. I know you're back in it today and finish line is near. I promise you that. It's only weeks. That's it. Weeks. We're not even gonna say months. We're gonna say weeks. It's only weeks. That's it. Deep breath. Just know that we're here. I'm here. If y'all need any help. All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.